You're probably wasting half the potential of your garden without even realizing it. Most gardeners think worms are just soil movers or compost machines, and that's where they stop. They don't see the hidden partnership worms have with fungi, and missing this completely changes how much your plants can actually grow. Those microbes don't just sit there. They interact directly with fungi, which in turn colonizes plant roots and improves water and nutrient uptake dramatically. In practical terms, a tomato plant in soil with worms but no active fungi network will still be starved compared to one where worms and fungi are working together. Why most gardeners are doing it wrong? A common mistake I see is gardeners adding worm castings like it's a magic powder. Castings alone improve soil structure and provide nutrients, yes, but without fungi, you're leaving up to 40% of your garden's growth potential untapped. Another error is overwatering or disturbing the soil, which destroys delicate fungal hyphae. In my raised beds, I've learned to layer castings lightly on top, water gently, and avoid aggressive tilling. You want the worms to aerate, the fungi to colonize, and your plant roots to have a ready-made highway for nutrients. How I apply worm castings in real gardens. For backyard gardens, I take a standard 10-pound bag of Vermis-Terra earthworm castings, which I get from Amazon, there's a link in the description for those interested, and apply roughly 1 cup per square foot of garden bed. I mix it into the top 2 to 3 inches of soil, and then mulch lightly to maintain moisture. For young seedlings, I top dress sparingly, about half a cup per plant, and water gently to encourage microbial activation. I prefer Vermis-Terra because it's finely cured, low in moisture, and packed with live microbes. These are the ones that partner with fungi to drive root growth. In raised beds, I increase the ratio slightly, especially for heavy feeders like tomatoes, peppers, and squash. I layer 2 to 3 inches of castings into the soil before planting and water them in. In hydroponic systems, I make a simple worm casting tea by steeping 2 cups of castings per gallon of water for 24 hours. This tea gets added directly to the nutrient reservoir or used as a foliar feed. The difference is immediate. Roots thicken, branching increases, and nutrient uptake becomes far more efficient. The fungi side of the equation isn't optional. I use a mycorrhizal inoculant alongside the castings, especially for young plants or new beds. For example, in a 4 by 8 foot raised bed, I apply roughly 1 tablespoon of inoculant per plant hole before planting. Then I add the castings around it. The fungi colonize quickly because the castings provide a living microbial network for them to integrate with. The result is far stronger root systems, improved drought tolerance, and noticeably faster growth. I've seen seedlings take off in half the normal time when worms and fungi are working in tandem versus castings alone. Practical tips for making the partnership work: timing and placement are everything. Don't bury castings too deep. That keeps worms from spreading them and slows microbial activation. Keep the soil lightly moist. Fungal networks collapse in dry conditions. Avoid synthetic fertilizers at the same time, because high salts can kill both microbes and fungi. I generally add a thin layer of castings or tea weekly in active beds, and monthly for established shrubs and perennials. In hydro setups, I maintain the worm tea at 20% strength for young plants and up to 50% for mature crops. Another tip: don't overthink it. A little goes a long way. In my 10-year experience running backyard beds, small-scale worm-fungi integration produces better yields than adding bulk compost or heavy chemical inputs. The trick is consistency and letting nature do its work. Why this partnership makes a real difference for nutrient-dense crops. I've tested this with everything from leafy greens to root vegetables, and the difference is dramatic. Leafy greens are darker, root crops are fuller, and fruiting vegetables like tomatoes and peppers produce larger, more consistent yields. The soil structure improves over time, water retention increases, and the plants handle stress, heat, drought, and even pest pressure better than conventional or castings-only beds. And this isn't just theory, it's real measurable results I've documented over multiple growing seasons. How to start integrating this in your garden today. Start with small steps. Pick one bed or one crop type and apply 1 to 2 inches of Humus-Rich castings, then add mycorrhizal inoculant as described. Water gently, mulch lightly, and let the worms do their work. Watch for root growth and overall plant vigor. In 2 to 3 weeks, you'll notice it. From there, expand the approach to other beds. For hydro systems, make a worm tea as I described and dose weekly. It's low effort, but the payoff in root health, plant vigor, and yield is enormous. Common misconceptions I want to clear up. Some gardeners think worm castings are hot fertilizer. They're not. You can safely add them directly to roots without fear of burning seedlings, unlike chemical fertilizers. Others believe fungi are optional or only needed for exotic crops. In reality, almost every plant benefits. Without fungi, the worm's castings are underutilized and your plants can't reach their full growth potential. The broader impact on soil health. This isn't just about individual plants, it's about building long-term fertility. Castings and fungi together improve soil aeration, microbial diversity, and nutrient retention. Over a few seasons, the garden becomes more resilient, less dependent on external inputs, and capable of supporting healthier, more productive crops. The partnership between worms and fungi is literally what allows your soil to function like a living ecosystem, rather than just dirt with nutrients. Wrapping up and a practical call to action. If you're serious about growing better food and maximizing your yields, start integrating worms and fungi together today. The difference you'll see in root health, plant vigor, and soil life is worth every bit of effort. And if you want to get started with a trusted, high-quality source of worm castings, check out the Humus-Rich earthworm castings. Link is in the description. I use these in all my beds and hydro systems because they consistently deliver results and come packed with beneficial microbes. Don't just take my word for it. Try it on one bed, track your growth, and you'll see what I mean. If this video helped you understand a hidden layer of gardening science that most people miss, hit that subscribe button, share it with other gardeners who care about real results, and keep experimenting. The more you understand about how worms, fungi, and plants interact, the stronger your garden will become season after season. Remember, this is about practical, actionable knowledge, not fluff. Worms and fungi together are one of the most overlooked tools in serious gardening, and now you know how to use them.